I want to get to another bully, okay? And that bully's name is Ryan Fitzpatrick, okay?
Really?
He's a bully.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is a bully?
Yeah, he's media bullying the Miami Dolphins, okay? This guy, I mean, he has been having, Leroy, the longest pity party I have ever seen in professional sports. So this article comes out yesterday with The Athletic talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick. Oh, has he finally found a place? You know, he's on his 17th team, I think. I don't know if that's the exact calculations, but it feels like he's played for 2/3 of the league. He goes into his losing of the job to Tua Tagovailoa, all right, last year. And this guy, who already went on stage and was boo-hooing, you know, he's already had his pity party. He already was up there having the reporters eat it out of a spoon. He's like, he goes, it was my team. Boo-hoo, it was my team. I thought this was my team. I put so much stuff into this. It's like, hey, dude, I got it. You got a cool beard. Do you live in Fantasyland? Are you Gandalf? What the hell's going on here? You thought, let me get this straight. Let me just get this straight, Fitzy. You thought the number 5 pick, that wasn't the guy? You thought, like, this is my team here going forward. And so I'm reading yesterday 2 charlatans, because he's got his partner in crime in on this too. He goes, quote, I have a ton of respect for Brian Flores, and we have a very good relationship. But when he told me that Tua was getting the job, I thought it was a joke at first. We're putting Tua in? I was floored. That was my team, Fitzpatrick said. I fought through bleep with those guys. I get the way the NFL works. I get it. But to have it happen the way it did, this guy, Leroy, I mean, let me get this straight. I just want to be clear here. I want to be clear. A guy who is a perennial backup for most of his career, all right, or has always been the other guy. Nobody ever goes into a year saying, man, other than the Washington football team this year, who, by the way, Fitz, they're going to replace you too. Everybody goes into every year thinking, how can we get better than Ryan Fitzpatrick? Do you want to know why, Leroy? Because he's fine. He's just a guy. And everybody, you are the perennial stopgap. That is what you are, for better or worse. You seem to be a delight to be around, okay? You do cool speeches. We all saw the stuff when you were in Houston, all the awesome speeches that you did. You wear a couple of Vice shirts. I know it pimps your style up, makes you feel like you got a little bit more swag. You know, all of a sudden you win a couple of games for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you think you're mother bleeping Joe Montana. You need to be put in your place, sir, about where you've been in your career. This is ridiculous. And then to have Leroy, this bum, Chan Gailey, be quoted in this article and say that he was equally as surprised with the move. He says, I was in total shock. We didn't even have a preseason. It was a totally new offense for Tua. We just started hitting our stride. We won 2 in a row, scored a bunch of points, moved the ball well. It came as a shock to me. Oh, we know, Chan, if that is your real name. We know, because you sat up there on the podium and we're like, not to the level of Fitz.
Not to the level of Fitz.
We know that it was a shock to your system because you were out there actively sabotaging Tua Tagovailoa, Leroy. I haven't seen sabotage like this since the like of Ja'Cory Harris, Mark Whipple. Dude, he needs to be put in his place because it is enough with Ryan Fitzpatrick boo-hooing about losing a job where he was quarterbacking for a tanking team. They won 5 games, and then he got replaced by the guy everybody knew was going to be the quarterback.
You know, frustrates me about this is that you just told this story. You just gave the thought process of the quarterback and the offensive coordinator, right? But all the heat of last season fell on Tua. And he wasn't given the best opportunity to succeed. For whatever reason. Maybe Chan Gailey felt uncomfortable because Tua didn't have a preseason, or Tua didn't get the practices where he could do things to feel comfortable. Sometimes the coach will come into the offensive meeting room and say, give him something he can have some success with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So for all those reasons, Tua looked the way he did, right? But I got to tell you, I get where Fitzpatrick is coming from, and I'm always, look, you're always going to be upset when you lose a job, even though you know that this is why you were brought in. But there's no excuse for Chan Gailey. There's no excuse for Chan Gailey. Like, to have him out there and have him running an offense that's different than the one that you ran because you're trying to either protect him or whatever. If you have to change your whole offense at that point of the season because you don't know if the quarterback can run it, the quarterback shouldn't be in there.
Let's hit the
Or if you're going to throw him to the Wolves, you throw him to the Wolves.
I agree. Let's hit the ID here, Marcos. I wasn't looking for it. It fell right into my lap.
Why do you care?
Because it's annoying. You want to know something? It's annoying.
He's not on the team anymore.
Dude, you were on the Dolphins for 3 seconds. For 3 seconds, you were on the Dolphins.
So why does it bother? You should be. Look, this is a situation you should say, who cares?
No.
What?
No. I care about this. Because you want to know something?
Of course.
He's a Fugazi mentor. Let me tell you something right now. He's a Fugazi mentor. A Fugazi mentor.
Really?
Yeah. He's not taking anybody under his wing. You know what he's doing? He's looking to kick you off the ledge. I bet you that he was screwing Tua up on purpose last year. You got this kind of petty in your heart. Still holding on to that hostility. Can I hear some of this sadness that he was spewing last year?
I mean, I've been, starter. I've been benched all kinds of different ways, but this one just really more so than any of them. I think this organization and what we've been through the last year and a half, this was kind of the first place other than Buffalo where I just felt fully, committed and invested and felt like it was my team. And so to have that, I think that's a lot of the reason why my heart was so heavy yesterday, but that's the direction that the organization's going, and I've just got to accept it.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you have. Sounds like you've really come to grips with reality. I really felt like the organization, the one that I've been in for 3 seconds, really invested into me. Dude, they gave games to Josh Rosen your first year. They weren't that invested. If that guy wasn't the worst, you wouldn't have even finished the year. You just happened to be on the team with a guy who was the worst. And so they kept you around a little bit more. Little Fitz, you know what you are, dude? You're a Band-Aid. That's what you are. Not even Neosporin. Rip it right off. While we're trying to heal. Boo-hoo. Boo-hoo. Poor
You need to let some things go.
Nah, I'm not. You want to know something? If he's not letting it go, I'm not letting it go.
Really?
Yeah.
Be the bigger person.
I don't want to be the bigger person.
You know what? Ryan Fitzpatrick? We have moved on.
He's opening up old wounds. I'm not just gonna let you take pot shots at people like the Dolphins.
Do you think
it makes it seem like the Dolphins? You know what? It makes it seem like the Dolphins did him dirty, and they didn't. He's sitting there like, oh, I had glasses of wine with Kyle Van Noy the night that I got cut. Hey, great old timers. Great. You want to know something? Go find yourself a nice little vineyard and kick the sharpest of grapes. Who cares? Oh, yeah, by the way, you want to know who seems like the anonymous defensive leak? Think we found it. I mean, I'm no Sherlock Holmes, but he ain't here. Christ.
So you think Kyle Van Noy was the leak?
I think he was a rat. I think he was a rat to those reporters, and he was telling people, we wanted Fitz the whole time. No, you did, dude. You did. A couple of old timers. You know? You guys go out there, play your shuffleboard together. Laugh it on up. Probably talk about mature football things like stocks. Get the hell out of here.
Not to the level of Fitz.
Oh, there's old Grandpa Jones. I forgot about him.
Hey, man.
What?
My thing is that when you hear all of this going on, and then you see Tua going through that situation, you think anybody's going to cut Tua a break?
Nope.
After hearing this? No.
Nope. No.
Right.
Oh, they were even asking Chase Young last night. They're like, what's it like having Fitz after the game? I'm like, dude, he played like 3 snaps. What are you asking Chase? Chase Young nearly murdered a man on the field last night. What are you asking him about Fitzpatrick for? I mean, do you need more? This guy is such a show pony. So look at me, disguised as a team guy. I've never seen anything like it. People think he's a team guy, but he's nothing but a me guy. Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's what he should be. Top bum. I can't wait for him to stink up the joint this year in Washington. Dude should open up a bakery. He's going to have so many turnovers. I can't wait.
You're not going to be surprised if he does. He's been doing it for 16 years.
Exactly. Exactly.
He going to throw for 400?
When did this dude start walking around like he's done something? Never been to the playoffs. Never. In 2 decades, you have never stepped foot in the postseason, and you act like you've done something. Andy Dalton's been to the postseason, and he doesn't walk around with this arrogance.
You know who's played more playoff games than him?
Blake Bortles.
Yep.
Blake Bortles has won 2 more playoff games than you, and he doesn't walk around like he's something special.
Well, he doesn't walk like he's something special. I don't even know where he's walking right now.
I think is he still with the Rams? Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles. He is a free agent, Leroy. That's tough.
As it should be.
That's tough. That's tough.
As he should be.
Wait. What?
You telling me Blake Bortles shouldn't be a free agent?
Oh, no. He definitely should be. Or I mean, if there's like a XFL team, maybe. Texter writes in, Tobin taking a blowtorch to everyone. Uh-huh. That's right. He goes, Tobin, you called Fitz a stripper. He was a hot one, and it was a time to marry a stripper. Now it's a pity party. Yeah, because he doesn't realize it. He thought he thought this was The Bachelor. He thought I was about to give him a rose. Nuh-uh. Couldn't even hold up a conversation with you, dude. Sorry. Now we know why Kyle Van Noy got axed. Certainly do. Another guy's texting show pony. I like that guy. Another guy says, Tobin, take 5. Go choke down a blunt, please. Nope. Jesus.
No, he's not. He's not gonna smoke. He's not gonna smoke no weed. It's not FDA approved.
Tobin, you say Fitzpatrick is a bum, yet he was the best quarterback on the Dolphins roster. Yeah, over a rook. Like, good for him. Hey, congratulations, dude. You outplayed a rookie You outplayed a rookie with half a hip, and you outplayed Josh Mother Bleepin' Rosen, who's on his 4th team in 4 years. Bravo. Hey, bravo. With your go-to sensei calling the plays. Masterful job. We really should give it up for him. I mean, get out of here.
Why? What happened to you this morning?
Nothing, man. I feel good. It's a Friday. I'm fired up. You know, I was watching some great TV last night. Watched Malice at the Palace. Oh man, I feel bad for Jermaine O'Neal. What a raw deal that guy got. Nice guy. You know, you could tell it really still bothers him, Leroy. And you know who I don't like? That scumbag who squared up with Ron Artest. That guy's like he's like, oh, you know, they like that. The security guard who was saying the guy was like planning to sue, and then you see him like getting taken out on a stretcher. It's so dirty. It was so dirty. F that guy.
I mean, look, not for nothing, but you throw beer on somebody. If he threw a beer on somebody in the stands, what would have happened?
They did oh, you mean if Ron Artest?
No, I'm saying if the fan would have thrown the beer at another fan,
probably
it'd have been go time.
Go time.
And you know what they would have said? The guy threw a beer on him.
Well, that was the thing that was such a weaselly. That was the thing I didn't know. I forgot about all this. I remember Mouse the Palace like sticking in my head because I remember being. I remember being in my top bunk in college, and I was like, because I had my TV up on the dresser so I could just watch from there turn. And I remember like I came home from a late night of drinking, and thinking that, am I dreaming this? What's happening right now? What I'm watching on TV? Crazy. But, yeah, Jermaine O'Neal's the one you, like, really feel bad for. Ron Artest seems like he's doing much better than he was back then because he's, like, definitely done some soul-searching. Steven Jackson just doesn't give a bleep. You know, that's Steven Jackson. But Jermaine O'Neal's, like, it's sticking with him, you know? He was like, oh, I don't think it's ever going to go away until the building gets knocked down. And I just I felt terrible for him. I felt terrible for him with the whole thing.
I just think that you put athletes sometimes in difficult situations where you're asking them not to be men. Okay, I'm telling you what. If I'm watching the game, not even playing the game, I'm not an athlete. I'm just a regular person, and somebody throws a beer on me purposely, then you know what that means, right? And everybody else in this world knows what that means. If you purposely throw a beer on another man in the crowd, in the stands, or whatever, there's going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But we look at these athletes and say, no, you can't be a man. But what happens is that there is nothing you can do to that person, right, that's going to stop people from doing stuff like that. But if he gets his ass kicked, he won't do it again.
Well, that was the thing. They played an interview of the guy who threw the beer, and that guy was a weasel because somebody else took the beating for him. Like he tried to trip Ron Artest and then let somebody else take the shots, even though he was the guy who threw the beer.
Right.
So it was a good documentary. It was only an hour too. You know, that was kind of a nice thing. I like the old.
It's a story that needs to be told, but you don't need it to go into too.
Yeah, I don't need 5 parts. I don't need 5 parts of it. They had all the material they needed to give you a good solid hour of content. But yeah, Jermaine O'Neal was just, you know, he talked about his beef with Artest, how much he hated when he won a championship in L.A. Everybody, you know, they were so mad at Artest for leaving them the next year. It was a good doc. It was a good doc. Highly recommend, Leroy. Highly recommend on the old watch list. And I finished yesterday. I finished the Cocaine Cowboys thing too.
Is it just as good as the other two?
I thought it was. I think it was better than 2, which, you know, 2 wasn't that great, but it was.
Well, 2 they just centered on the lady, what's her name, Imelda.
Griselda Blanca.
Griselda Blanca.
Yeah. It was good. It definitely had some fun twists. I don't know if like the drug stories were as crazy in this one. But the thing that was actually better was like all the escapage and all the shenanigans that this guy did to get out of the charges. that was honestly the most entertaining part. Like all of those crazy twists were the fun. Like the trials were honestly the more fun part of the whole story.
Right.
So yeah, you know, Billy Corbett, he's got his wheelhouse. He knows it. He's got his wheelhouse. He's got his deal, and they did a great job with it. So it was some good TV from yesterday for sure. So you want to hear something adorbs?
Sure.
So you know this Solomon Kinley?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so lineman for the Dolphins. This was beautiful. I love this. So yesterday He was asked to practice, Leroy. What's Tua's message to the team? And this is what Solomon Kinley had to say.
What would be a message that Tua Tagovailoa has kind of tried to give all the linemen throughout the summer and here in Chicago?
He said he loves us. He said he loves us and we're a family. That's all we need.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. That warms my heart, Leroy. That warms my heart. Why do you get so defeated with stuff like that? That's awesome. That's heartfelt from Solomon Kinley. What does Tua tell you? What's the message? He says he loves us. We're a family.
I'm gonna tell you what. It's a little chicanery. Want me to tell you why? Because Tua probably thinking, if I love the hell out of these guys, maybe they won't get me killed.
Maybe that is what he's thinking. I don't know. But from Solomon Kinley's standpoint, Tua's saying he loves us. And I love that. I love that for him.
There is one thing that I will always say about Tua. Man's man, that dude is a good dude. Okay? He's a good dude. Like, no matter what the circumstances have been, he's taken the high road. No matter what people have said, he's taken the high road. And so from that standpoint, I hope he has, all the success that everybody hopes that he'll have. One, so he can shut everybody the hell up.
Yep.
But two, I like when good things happen to good people.
So
from that standpoint, now that being said,
yeah, I feel like you're gonna rain on it right here.
No.
Oh, all right.
I'm just trying to figure out. Is that love at first sight?
I don't know.
Because
Daddy loves you guys.
Yeah. See, now we just made it creepy.
Yeah, Knox Mice says he says the same thing to his linemen that he says to his dogs.
Yeah, because they're his dogs too.
Both cuddly. And both cuddly.
I think, yeah, man. I mean, everybody like Ryan Fitzpatrick too.
No, not like this. You know what Ryan Fitzpatrick loves? He loves the mirror.
He loves himself.
He loves some him. He loves him some him.
All right.
I
got you.
It's all a ruse,
Yeah?
Oh yeah. Trust me, you've been on enough teams, you know how to make friends.
Ryan man. I will say this. That whole team thing, a lot of people take it for granted. Is very underrated, and it does help. Right? Because I can think of, all the teams that I've been fortunate that all the teams that I've been on, even when we were terrible, we had good camaraderie, right? Now, I don't know in Minnesota if we were that way because we were just winning so much, because I never didn't go to the playoffs in Minnesota. There was only really one moment in time where everybody was just crushed.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, so we all got along there. It's almost very rare that you have some of the things that go on now in sports where guys just openly dislike one of their teammates or dislike another guy in the league. It's just different. Maybe it's because of social media. So there's more to be said or heard or whatever.
There's definitely more opportunity to be petty publicly,
right,
than there used to be. But I also feel like there's more. But I also feel like there's a lot of these guys grow up, knowing each other, especially in the NBA. That's a big thing. Like
especially in the NBA, right? Because there are only a select few of you that are playing in all these AAU tournaments and going to high school. There's kids going to different states to go to high school now.
Yep.
So yeah.
I love that from Solomon Kinley. Can I hear that again from Solomon Kinley? Because this was so genuine and heartfelt.
No, let it go.
No. I just want to hear because I feel like it feels like I'm not just listening to a man. It feels like I'm listening to a man's soul.
What would be a message that Tua Tagovailoa has kind of tried to give all the linemen throughout the summer and here in Chicago?
He said he loves us. He said he loves us and we're a family. That's all we need.
God, that's beautiful.
Daddy loves you guys.
I'm getting a little misty on it. I got to be honest with you.
Hey.
What?
You need some protection too.
Of course.
Okay.
Of
let's
course.
not make it sound.
Who has
all
to?
we need is love. Love ain't blocked that defensive end.
I feel like I know the answer to this. I feel like this should be obvious, but who loves their offensive line more, running backs or quarterbacks?
I would say quarterbacks. Because like Exhibit A, Barry
right?
Sanders. Barry Sanders didn't have the best offensive lines.
No.
And he still, went crazy. Whereas if you think of somebody like Emmitt Smith would probably appreciate his offensive line a little bit more because he is the all-time leading rusher.
Yeah, like I mean, the quarterback's obviously going to make more money, so they should get nicer presents to the offensive line. But I wonder who genuinely loves the offensive line more. Do you think Myles Gaskin tells the offensive line he loves them?
No.
Why do you dismiss it like that?
Why?
Yeah.
Because Myles Gaskin, did he make a Pro Bowl?
No, he didn't. But he only played 10 games last year.
See, I have a unique situation in that I played football longer with one of my offensive linemen.
Oh, that's true. You and Steve Everett.
Yeah, so we played in college and we played in Cleveland.
So you definitely loved him more than Bernie Kosar.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know how I feel about Bernie.
And Bernie gives the feels now too. I mean, Bernie's entire Twitter account right now is a Hallmark card.
Yeah.
It's very deep. Like that like what Solomon Kinley's saying, Tua's saying, Bernie Kosar's saying that to everybody.
Bernie had that kind of vibe too. Right? Like he get on you, but it was all coming from a good place.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's certain quarterbacks that have it like that. There's certain quarterbacks that are trying to cover their butt because the heat is on them. It just depends, but I don't blame any one of them. Like the hardest thing in the world to do is have it depend on other people for your success. And so sometimes it becomes frustrating when, for example, say, and I'm just using an example, say if your left tackle got to block Chase Young, right? And you go into that game knowing there ain't no way in hell he's going to be able to block Chase Young, but you got to love him anyway.
It's okay. It's okay, Jesse Davis. I still love you.
Right. Like it's like when you ask your DB, look, we still have faith in you. You our guy. But ain't no way in hell he covering Randy Moss. Right? It's just like that. That's the whole dynamic of sports. Like everybody just assumes. This is one thing that kills me about fans. You never say the other team was better. You always think that the coach or a player put you in a position that you couldn't win, right? Like he failed. That's why you didn't win. It's never a situation where, that other team is really good. We're not there yet. You never say that as a fan.